This is my most anticipated piece of hardware of 2025. I've been waiting for this for so long, and I finally, today on Halloween, have it in my hands. This is the all-new $1,350 OLED Lenovo Legion Go 2. My favorite category in tech in general has been PC gaming handhelds, mainly because it's something I always wanted growing up. I always wanted the power of a gaming PC in my hands. And over the last year or so, that dream has become very much a reality. In fact, to a point where these PCs are not only more powerful than the PCs that I had growing up, but also they're more powerful than most PCs that are out there. I mean, maybe not most of the people watching these videos PCs, but for a lot of people, this is gonna be better than their PC. In the last month alone, we've had two major entries into the handheld PC gaming space. This, the Lenovo Legion Go 2, which just released right at the end of October, and the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X. Now, there were two versions of this handheld to drop. There was the Ally X and the standard Ally. The Ally X is the only one that I think you should buy. Yes, it's $1,000, but it is significantly better than the standard ROG Xbox Ally, and I've done some short form content about why I think the Steam Deck is a better buy, or at least the Steam Deck OLED is a better buy than the ROG Xbox Ally. I hate the names of these handhelds. They're just so long and ridiculous. But that being said, I've been using the ROG Xbox Ally X for the last 2 or 3 weeks since it released. I bought all of these handhelds myself. No one sent me any of these handhelds. I'm obviously not going to say no if someone decides to send me a handheld early, but you know for a fact that I spent my own money on these because, well, I had to. I didn't have a choice. While these two handhelds are probably the best PC gaming handhelds that I've ever used, and probably ever, there are some other really good options, which I'll talk about right now. The first is the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. Now, this is an Intel-based handheld, and it's actually incredibly powerful. Up until we got these two handhelds, this was probably the top dog in terms of power, and it still stacks up pretty well against these two other handhelds. Of course, we've got the classic Steam Deck OLED, which is getting long in the tooth, but like I said in some short form content, which I mentioned, it still stacks up pretty well against the competition. And then another pretty interesting handheld that I grabbed this year, which also comes from Lenovo, is the Lenovo Legion Go S. Now, this handheld in particular was a SteamOS version. It came in this deep purple color. There was a white one as well, which ran Windows. This one is fine. I've had some issues with it. I don't think it's the best value in the world, at least not this lower end version. There is a Z2 Extreme version, which launched about a month ago. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to either buy one of these other ones, but hey, it's an option. So there's a lot of different PC handheld gaming options out there, including the ROG Ally X that released 2 years ago. I actually have it charging in my house right now, and that one is also a great option, and it's cheaper than some of these other options. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about my first impressions of the Lenovo Legion Go 2, because I literally just got it 4 hours ago, and I've just been installing games since then. I actually have not yet played a game on it, which is crazy. So I'm going to do that first with you guys. And before I do that, though, I do want to talk about the unboxing experience, because it was pretty standard, but not in a bad way. So this device came in a relatively large black box with the Lenovo logo on the top. You cut the tape, you open it up, and you realize that inside you not only get the handheld, but you're also going to get a case, which I really, really appreciated. The case did come in this nice cardboard sleeve, which had some really nice printed details that kind of talk about the tech specs and some of the aspects of the device that you may like. Now, the power cable did come in this little extra cardboard side area. When you open it up, pull it out, you get your 65-watt charger. It's a nice addition. You need a charger. I mean, I can't really say too much about it. It's a fine charger. It works. But getting to the actual handheld itself, when I first pulled it out of the case, I guess, or unzipped the case and pulled it out, the first thing I noticed was it's heavier than the original Lenovo Legion Go. Now, I don't have that handheld anymore, but I do remember it being a hefty boy. This one, from the specs that I've read online and also from feeling it in my hands, it is an even heftier boy. To a point where, yeah, it's gonna be one of those consoles that you're gonna get tired of holding for a while if you don't have your arms supported. Not only that, this handheld is thicker than the previous Lenovo Legion Go, which again, not a huge deal. You're getting a huge amount of power, but it's something to keep in mind. If you have maybe smaller hands, maybe try something else. In addition to the handheld, inside the case, you get the mouse attachment for one of the, I don't know, they're strike cons or joy strikes or whatever they're called. I don't know. The removable controllers, you get a mouse attachment for it. And then the other side, you get, I don't know what that is. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out before the full review, but in this first impression video, I have no idea. But now let's get to the party trick of the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and that's the fact that these controllers on the sides of the device are removable. Now, why they need to be removable? I couldn't tell you. Now, that's not entirely true. There is a mouse mode that you can play with the removed vertical controller. I'll kind of show you guys how that looks right now. One gripe right off the bat that I've noticed with this device is that it's not easy to take on and off these controllers. They're not easy to pop on and pop off. It's not like a Nintendo Switch 2 where it just clicks. That was not a click sound. I don't know what that was. It doesn't just click right in. You kind of have to squeeze these buttons at the bottom and then pull down. And you might see in this B-roll of the first couple times of me trying this, It's really difficult to get these back on. You can't hear the audio because I took it out, but it's me going like, oh, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Why is this such a problem? Basically the whole time that I was doing that. I don't ever see myself removing these controllers other than for this review. But let me show you guys the mouse mode just to show you the reason why you might remove these controllers. I left the mouse attachment inside. It's off to a great start, isn't it? You slot this into the mouse attachment, and then you can use this as a mouse like this. That's why there's buttons on the side and buttons right here and a scroll wheel on the back of the right Strike-Con. It's not a terrible way to play, but it's not the most comfortable. The joystick is kind of in your palm rather than this nice sort of sculpted area being in your palm. I don't know why they didn't make this one the mouse one, because this just feels better. But hey, that's how they did it. And it's fine. It gets the job done. I will be doing a full test of this as I review the handheld over the next week or so. The left one, you kind of just take it off so that you can play it like this while you're moving your mouse around, and then you have this guy kind of sitting up. Is there a kickstand? Oh, there is a kickstand. Let's go. You got a little kickstand right here. So you can kind of play it like this. Kind of like a Switch 2, except way more powerful and with useless controllers, but there you go. So, yes, that is the party trick of the Lenovo Legion Go 2. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. I'm trying to figure out how to get these guys in. There we go. Now, while I generally would say that this isn't a huge deal, there are some downsides to the fact that you can remove the controllers. I'm never going to remove the controllers ever again. At least I don't think I will. I haven't needed to with any of my other handhelds, but, you know, I guess it's nice to have the option. The only problem is that because these are removable, they are a little jiggly. They've got some wiggle to them, which is not super noticeable, especially when you're holding it like this. But if you hold just one side and kind of wiggle it, yeah, you can notice it. Also, the buttons on the side kind of rest in your palm. A little weird. You get used to it. At least I've gotten used to it over the last hour of setting things up. Again, I haven't actually played this yet. Now, in terms of inputs, you've got a touchpad on the right side, which is nice. It is much larger than the touchpad on the other Lenovo Legion Go S, which is a tiny little nub. It's not even a nub. It's like a small square that's completely useless. I wish they didn't add that. I don't know why they did, but they did. Now, I am a fan of touchpads. I love the touchpads on the Steam Deck and the Steam Deck OLED. I think they're really great, especially for RTS games. Kind of sucks not to have two of them, but it's, I guess, nice to have it rather than not have it, because it's larger than the one on the Lenovo Legion Go S. It is actually usable, so that's a plus. In terms of the buttons, they're clicky. D-pad is decent. You've got some menu buttons, some start and selects, things like that, and then you've also got these two buttons down here, which I'm actually not sure exactly what they do. You've got your joysticks, and then of course your triggers, your R&B buttons, your volume rockers at the top, your USB-C on the top as well. Power button with a fingerprint scanner, which is nice, which I didn't realize. On the bottom, you've got a USB-C as well. You've got an audio input, and then you've also got your micro SD card slot. But that's pretty much all there is. I mean, obviously, you've got it's called the FPS button, but that's a button that switches this into mouse mode. You've got your mouse sensor right there, your optical sensor, and of course your back buttons and your scroll wheel, things like that. But overall, it's a pretty standard feeling handheld, or looking handheld, and the buttons are pretty similar. Check out how fast this fingerprint scan is. Look at that's great. Oh wow, okay, we're in the controller section. I didn't mean to click to this. Okay, cool. You've got button mapping, joystick light, trigger settings. Ooh, let's look at trigger settings. Trigger settings, I haven't messed with this at all. I really haven't. You've got your FPS limiter off. You've got your RAM, 13.6 gigabytes. Now, I've been watching a lot of 128 KB or kilobytes on YouTube. I guess it's just 128 KB on YouTube. They have a channel about mainly gaming handhelds, which is really cool. And they actually have a setup guide with this device talking about the things that you should do, specifically going into the BIOS and adjusting the VRAM, because the VRAM is set to just 2 gigabytes when it should be set to like 12 gigabytes. So I haven't done that yet, but shout out to them. I'll make sure to leave a link to that video in the description below if you are interested in learning the things that you should do when you first get this device. But yeah, definitely good things to know. Discs and drivers, I don't know if I have the most updated drivers. It said when I was trying to play Battlefield 6, that was the first game I was going to try, that I didn't have the latest AMD driver. And then I did a driver scan and it says there wasn't one there. So I guess I need to go back to that 128 KB video and look into where the drivers are at. This is a problem that I had with every handheld that I've had, that Battlefield needs updated AMD drivers, and it seems like you can't, update the driver that way, which is frustrating. Here are the games that I have downloaded so far. I've got Battlefield 6, which I can't play, Cyberpunk 2077, Madden, Forza Horizon 5, Hollow Knight, Once Upon a Katamari, which is dope. I've been playing that a lot in my other handhelds. Ratchet & Clank, Star Wars, and then Steam and Xbox, all sort of good stuff. Why don't I load up a game, see how this is. Again, not going to be peak performance because, like I said, I haven't really messed with the settings enough, but let's throw on some Cyberpunk, see how we're looking. Controller disconnected, that's just not true. So I've played a lot of Cyberpunk on my Switch, but not at all on my PC gaming handhelds other than to test it. So, all right. Whoa, Cyberpunk has flatlined. Great start to the video, guys. Let's go with Forza. At least with Forza, like I said, I haven't played any of these games yet. Yo, one thing I've got to say As much as I don't love the fact that Xbox called the ROG Xbox Ally an Xbox, because it's straight up not, the Xbox full screen experience, which yes you can get on this handheld as well, is great. It's so much better than Windows. It's next level how much better it is. That being said, you still run into all of the Windows problems. For example, crashing, drivers needing to be downloaded from places that you would never think of. A bunch of issues that me, as someone who's never built a gaming PC, are frustrated by. That's one thing I don't love about PC gaming handhelds, although I do love the compatibility of a Windows handheld over something like a Steam Deck. Although if I had to pick one handheld, and this is crazy to say, I'm going to say it though, if I had to pick one handheld, I might have to genuinely go Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch 2. That might be blasphemous to say. Now, to be honest, I am most excited about the offerings from Windows. The Lenovo Legion Go 2s, the ROG Xbox Allies, things like that. I'm most excited about those devices. But if I had to pick one for just general ease of use and one that I could rely on working all the time, I'd definitely go Nintendo Switch 2 or Steam Deck OLED. Both of them have so many less issues than these handhelds. Both of them have games that are specifically made for these devices or specifically tailored for these devices. It's a much smoother experience running one of those than one of these, as you've seen already. But I'm really excited to try it out. Now, to go over some of the tech specs of this device, first of all, you've got this beautiful 8.8-inch OLED display. Now, I believe the resolution is 1920 by 1200, which is actually less than the previous Lenovo Legion Go 2. It's the same screen ratio. It's 16 by 10, which is an odd ratio, but it gets the job done. I'm gonna log in really quickly, guys, don't look. But my guess is you're not gonna notice it. Especially because most of the games that you're going to run, you're not going to run at full settings anyway. Optimized for the PC, aren't we? Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. No big deal. Now, this beautiful OLED screen is 144 hertz capable. It's gorgeous, and the black looks really, well, the black in this actually doesn't look that, no, it looks, when you're looking at it straight on, it looks really, really good. Powering the device, you've got an AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme, which is the most powerful chip that you can get in one of these handheld devices at the moment. I'm sure there are more powerful mobile chips out there, but in terms of readily available PC gaming handhelds, that's the one to go for. It is more expensive, but it's really the top of the line at this moment. Of course, it's also what the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X uses, not the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally. That uses the A2, and it's actually about as powerful as the Steam Deck OLEDs, which is crazy, which is a significantly older chip. But there you go. Now, in terms of RAM, you get either a 16GB version or a 32GB version. For this $1,349 version of the device, the top of the line one, you do get 32GB of RAM, which is a pretty big step up from, I believe, the 24GB that you get in the ROG Xbox Ally X. In addition to that, you get 1TB of internal storage. Of course, you can upgrade it. You've also got your micro SD card slot if you want to run games off of that, if you don't want to open this guy up. And as far as battery size goes, you've got a 74 watt-hour battery, which is 6 watt-hours smaller than the 80 watt that you have in the ROG Xbox Ally X, and I don't know how long it's going to last. I honestly can't tell you. Like I said, I've never played this, so I really don't know. But expect that information to come out in my review. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because like I said, I'm going to play this guy non-stop and give you guys all of the details and the juicy info. Of course, there are tons of other reviews out there right now because people have had these devices for like the last couple weeks with the review units, but this is a full-on customer review. All right, it is time to do this. It's time to play. Now, I'm just running with the preset settings to see how it goes. Now, the vibration motors are a little loud, I'm not going to lie, but they do feel good. Presets high. Okay, everything's on high. Awesome. We're at the full 1920 by 12, 144 hertz going on. We're on quiet mode. Let's throw on performance. Let's throw on balance. I've heard balance is the way to go, at least for this device. These have really good speakers. I'm going to turn them all the way up. They are top firing speakers though, so they're really only going this direction. Not like the Xbox, not like the ROG Xbox Ally X, which has front-facing speakers. This one is top firing speakers, so you're probably catching the vibes. This is full volume, by the way. Okay, so far so good. Feels good in the hand. Comfort is nice. Kind of feels like the Steam Deck a little bit in the fact that while no, it doesn't have those really nice like game controller grips that you have on the ROG Xbox Ally X or ROG Xbox Ally, it does feel good in the hand. Now, I have medium to largish hands, so I would say maybe if you have smaller hands, this might be a bit big. But I will say the ergonomics on the 2 versus the original Lenovo Legion Go. Dude, the original, oh man, it felt terrible. It didn't feel terrible, it just didn't feel good. It was a very sharply angled device. This one, they've modeled the grips a little bit better. There is still kind of a little bit more of a sharp edge right there on the inside of my palm than I would like. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and I'm having issues. But it's not bad. Like, I'm noticing it, but I think it's just because this is the first time I'm actually playing this device. I'll probably get used to it, though, if this becomes my daily device. I will say, though, that, again, If you're looking for ergonomics, it's hands down the ROG Xbox Ally. Vibration mode, FPS. Oh, let's go to racing vibration mode. Can we change that to racing? I haven't tried that. Oh, it's a lot like harder. I'm sure when you actually have the volume up, you won't notice it, but it is definitely louder. Man, it's crazy how much faster these cars are. Maybe I just suck. I think it's just I suck. It is way better with the music. Some Cyberpunk 2077. That's usually a good benchmark game. I really wanted to play Battlefield, but until I download those drivers, we're kind of stuck. Hopefully this time we won't have it crash. This was the game that I was trying to play first, but obviously that didn't work out. Let's run some Cyberpunk. Let's do it up. Hacking, let's do combat basics. It is running smooth though, I will say. The screen looks amazing. Man, the screen looks so good. Well, honestly, so far, so good. I'm really excited about this. I do want to get all of those extra settings kind of worked out and get this up to peak performance before I give you guys a full review. I want to make sure that I'm playing this in the best way possible and being able to let you guys know all of the pros and the cons and how to make your device run the best way possible. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on the Lenovo Legion Go 2. I will be dropping a bunch of videos on this device, on the ROG Xbox Ally X, on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus, and kind of comparing them and letting you guys know which handheld you should get out of the three, and also, of course, the benchmark boy of the Steam Deck OLED. Gotta throw that in there. I probably will not be keeping the Lenovo Legion Go S. I have no reason to have this device anymore. I don't like it, to be honest with you. One thing, though, that is kind of cool is that you can change the travel of the triggers by just switching this button right here at the back. That's a cool feature. And honestly, the form factor is not bad. I do have to say, though, that the actual, feel of this device does feel very premium. Like the soft touch finish on the front is really nice. The in-hand feel is really nice. It's got some heft to it. So I'm really excited to play it for a long time and let you guys know how good it is. But guys, again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see any other types of videos or have any other questions about these devices. Seriously, your comments do impact these videos pretty heavily. There was a video that I dropped on the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X where I mentioned something that was incorrect about the triggers, and someone let me know in the comments. So I went back in, cut that part out, re-edited it, re-uploaded it, and thank you so much to that guy for letting me know, because that was awesome, and I just want to give you guys the best content possible. So if you guys know something that I don't know, let me know in the comments, and I'll fix it. So thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next one.